Hey guys, welcome back to Position to Prosper. I'm Arianne Maccabee. If this is your first time tuning in, say hey and let me know where you are tuning in from. So come on in and also share and invite your followers by hitting my head of security at the bottom there. Swipe up for Droid, left for iPhone, and you can also tune in online at periscope.tv. All right, so we are in day 3 of our series, The Purge, and we're getting ready for 2017. It's still technically fall, although it may feel like winter, depending on where you are, and the leaves are falling, the trees are letting go, right? And so they're preparing for the upcoming seasons, and we have to do the same thing in our lives. So we are on part 3 of The Purge. Yesterday we talked about money matters. The day before that we talked about checking your circles. We're going to have to get rid of some people, some old habits, if we're going to reap a new harvest in our next season. Because what? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So we are casting out an insane spirit for 2017. All right, so I'm getting you guys prepared for that. Before I jump into the message today, just a reminder that 31 days of Proverbs is still going on. I believe we're on day 14 today. Yep, 14. We're on day 14. So if you have not already joined us, you can start right where you are and just read a chapter of Proverbs a day and post your favorite verse from that day onto Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever your heart desires. All right, and then we'll also continuing to pray. I gave 7 points of prayer in the message. There's an army rising up. So you can go listen to that if you missed it. And we're just praying and getting ready for the new year. We're praying for divine connections and open doors, closed doors, supernatural resources and creativity, for God to awaken and activate our spiritual gifts, and also just for spirits of boldness, right? So that we can do what God has called us to do. So you can go listen to that. Again, there's an army rising up. It was a saved Periscope. It's also uploaded to YouTube if you missed it. All right. So today we're talking about renewing your mind. Renewing your mind. So we have to have a different mindset. So our thoughts leads to our actions and all of that. So everything that we do starts in our mind. So if you're having trouble in your finances, you have to renew how you think about your finances. You know what? I have to start spending less. I have to spend smarter and save smarter and put strategies and processes in place. Or you may need to renew your mind about fitness. You might hate exercising, but you got to speak some different words over your life in regards to that and say, nope, I'm determined to get well. And help yourself get the things done that you are desiring, or whatever it may be in relationships. You know what? I only attract dogs. Stop speaking that stuff over yourself and then really figure out, okay, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me, and work on yourself and change your environments perhaps. So we're just going to renew our mind. I'll give you a quick scripture like always. And our scripture for today is Romans 12:2. Romans 12:2, popular in a lot of our lives already, but it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So renewing, that means ongoing. It doesn't happen just one time. I mean, I love to read. I can't tell you how many books I've read. I need another bookshelf because they're just all over the place. But I can't tell you every single thing that I read in every single book that I've read, right? And that's why we continue to read the Bible as well, because you can read the same passage 3 times over at 3 different times in your life, and God will speak to you and reveal to you something in a fresh, in a new way, depending on your current season. So we're always renewing our mind. It is constant. All right, and things are changing so fast anyway. It's like, yeah, I learned something a week ago, and this week it's already, evolved and transformed. So the world is transforming, the world is continuing to move forward, and we have to as well continue to renew our mind. So write this down, take some notes. Who is pouring into you every day? Who is pouring into you every day. And if there's no one pouring into you every day, that's a problem. That in itself is a problem. At a minimum, it needs to be Jesus and God pouring into you every day. So who is pouring into you every day? Like, who are you listening to, whether it be podcast, on radio, on TV, devotionals, if you're watching YouTube videos, whoever it is. What is maybe your top 5? Who are the top 5 people that pour into you regularly, whether you meet them in person or they're virtual mentors of yours? Who are they? The next thing is this: what are the last 5 books that you read? Hopefully you're reading something. Knowledge. They say knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that actually is power. But you gotta read, right? They say readers are leaders and leaders are readers. So always be gaining knowledge and wisdom, because that's something that no one can take from you. They can't take your knowledge from you, but you gotta get it. You gotta get it somehow. And it's just so easy now. I don't even care if you have to go to the library. Go check out a book if you can't afford to buy them or feed your addiction like I have. Amazon, it's like, oh, another book, right? And I still have 10 that I have yet to read, but every time something comes out, I'm like, oh, I want it now. And so I'm trying to control myself, but I love reading. You don't even want to know. But anyway, what are the last 5 books that you have read? And that's going to tell you what's been speaking into your life and really what your interests have been. So not saying that you can't read, fiction books. That's great. I don't read them at all. I'm just not attracted to that sort of thing. I love learning and I love tools and wisdom. So typically reading spiritual books or business books or books on finance, and whether it's spiritual warfare, whatever the case is, I'm always reading things to get tools that I can use and apply in my own life. So I'm not saying that you can't read fiction. I know there's a lot of different things out there. I'm not going to get into it because you know it's in your library, but I'm just telling you to diversify a little bit so you can continue to grow. So what are the last 5 books that you have read? And then what are the areas that you're looking to improve in 2017? What are the areas? Is it in your finances? Is it in your health? It could be on your job, business. You need business skills. If you're an entrepreneur, maybe you can't do everything. You might be responsible for everything right now, especially if you are a solopreneur, but you don't know everything. So maybe it's accounting or bookkeeping or just improving your processes. Whatever that case is, maybe it's just working on you. Maybe you got some anger problems. I need to read up on anger management. I don't know. But what are the areas that you want to focus on and grow in 2017? All right? So once you make your list, here's the task. Here's the task, is to create a reading schedule or a learning schedule for next year. I try to read at least 1 to 2 books per month, so that's anywhere between 12 and 24 books a year. 12 and 24 books a year. Me, I typically stay in one topic and then move on to another one depending on how the Lord leads. So at the beginning of this year, I was heavy on kind of prophetic stuff and spiritual warfare, and then I moved on to hearing God's voice and just growing and developing spiritually and what it means to be a disciple. So I just go through a lot, and then I read business books. So it just really depends, but diversify, but create a reading list for 2017. So, and it's so easy. We say we don't have time. All I really do is a chapter a day. And most books are 15 chapters or less. So in theory, you can read 2 a month if you just commit to reading 1 chapter a day. Take something big and turn it into bite-sized pieces. That's it. Take something huge and turn it into bite-sized pieces. I don't have time to read a book, but you have time. You can make time to read 1 chapter a day and commit to doing that, and you will have more books and more knowledge and more wisdom than you probably know what to do with at the end of next year. So even if you're not reading books, sign up for or subscribe to a podcast, right? Or if you're more of an audio person, that's not really how I learn. I'm more visual. I like holding books. I'm not an ebook person at all. No, I just can't do it. I love y'all that can, but I like holding a book and being able to turn pages and highlight and all that stuff. So I love books that I can hold. But if you're an electronic person, download an ebook. Audio, you can get audiobooks. I don't know how y'all do that, but audiobooks work for some people as well. And then just categorize them. So again, the areas that you're trying to grow in, whether, let's just say, it's finance, health, and relationships, make sure that you are getting knowledge and wisdom from people in all three of those categories, and just set it up. You know what? I'm gonna sign up for somebody's blog or newsletter. I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna go through this program. Whatever the case, there's just so many options that we really don't have an excuse for not getting knowledge and wisdom. Like, none whatsoever. And yeah, there's programs and formal education, and you can go to college and all of that and spend tons of money and get student loans. But just on a daily basis, read a book. Like, seriously, sign up for a podcast or a blog from people that you admire and you want to be like. There's just so much free good information out there, because there's free information that you should just stay away from, but there's a lot of information that's free, and it's just right at your fingertips to at least keep the ball rolling until you are in a position to invest in something more, like a course online or something. Don't do nothing. Like, don't say I don't have the money for that and just do nothing. Do it on your level. Like, gain knowledge and wisdom on your level. And if you don't have the budget to buy a book, go to the library. I know that sounds real outdated and all that. It's not cool anymore. I used to love to go to the library. I loved having a library card and being able to go. And now I am an Amazon addict, and I just buy all of mine. And yeah, that's what it is. But the library still exists, so you can get it. You can get it. Internet. If you don't have internet, again, go to the library, okay? So, also there's Periscope, Facebook Live. I mean, there's just so many options and no excuse for us not to renew our minds if it's something that we really want to do and something that we're committed to, all right? So, write it down. I want you to write that down. The areas that you want to improve in and grow in 2017, and set up your, whether it's a reading list, a combination of podcasts, blogs, books, whatever. Set up your learning schedule for 2017, okay? And those of you that really want to grow, you're going to do it, because we talked about that yesterday. People that write down their goals, you are 40 to 50% more likely to achieve them. It holds you accountable, and it makes it come to life. It makes it real for you. And I'm telling you, a lot of times if I don't write it down, it's not happening. I'll keep thinking about it, but when I see it, and I'm like, because I want to accomplish something. So it makes me motivated to accomplish something, because I don't want my list sitting there, girl, you were lazy. Like, you had all this stuff to do by the end of the week. You didn't get anything done. Like, get your life together. So write it down, and then put your plan in place. If you need to order some books or whatever the case is, get her done. All right? So renewing our mind, got to purge the old stuff, get some new stuff in there so that we can keep moving forward in the things that God has called us to do. And don't just renew your mind and hook up with people that look like you. Seriously. Get outside of the box, you know? You just never know what somebody can give to you and pour into your life, but you got to get past what they look like, how old they are, what their background is, all of that. Not saying, pour into people that don't share your values and whatnot, but just be open. Be open to hearing from different sources, okay? And be careful. Again, I said be careful about that, because we think soul ties only has to do with having sex with someone, but no, soul ties has something to do with your leaders and who's pouring into your life as well, because faith comes by hearing. So the people that you're listening to over and over again, they're shaping your thoughts and they are shaping your mind. So no, we form soul ties with our leaders as well. So just be very careful about that. If you need to cut some off, take care of that. Ask God to show you who you need to purge from your life and who's been pouring into you. That's why I said write down who's been pouring into you every day or most consistently, and ask God, Are those the best people that should be pouring into you? He cares and he knows. So ask him who should be pouring into your life and let him lead you and guide you every step of the way. All right? Cool. I love you guys. Do the work. Do the work. I want you to we're talking about making 2017 our best year ever. I keep hearing it, but we've got to do the work. We can talk about it all day long, but faith without works is dead. So I love you guys. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and tune in tomorrow. We'll be back around the same time. So continue to share and follow. You can also follow me on Instagram at Arianne Maccabee, and check out my website www.ariannemaccabee.com. So enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.